Animal DNA Cloning by Nikki Stacy. Animals are special to us. They have a special connection with humans that we can't replace. Our pets are held close to our hearts, and when they pass, they leave us heartbroken because they feel like family to us. But what if we could change this? Scientists are trying to make this reality, but the effects of this could be both good and bad. Cloning refers to the fact of replicating a single DNA molecule from a living cell to create a population of identical cells. The process begins with isolating one or more fragments from the DNA using restriction enzymes. These restriction enzymes are what cut the self-replicating DNA molecule. Then the one or more fragments are inserted by the ligation procedure. The ligate attaches the fragment to a vector, which is the carrier that is able to carry the fragment to replicate. The vector introduces the fragment into the living cell and is then replicated. In the end, you would have many clones of the DNA known as recombinant DNA. Dolly the sheep is a good example of a clone. She was one of the first cloned animals that was the only lab born from 277 attempts. Scientists took nucleus of an udder cell from a Finn Dorset white sheep. Dolly the sheep aged quickly, which may have been because she came from a 6-year-old sheep. After Dolly was euthanized from arthritis, scientists found that her chromosomes were a little shorter than most sheep's her age. The study of her cells showed that some of the DNA outside the nucleus is inherited from the donor egg cell, not from the donor nucleus like the rest of her DNA. This shows that she was not the exact clone as hoped for, but in fact was very similar. So how would this affect us? Well, what if we were interested in cloning our pets? Then would they really be the exact same? Right now, people are taking DNA samples of their dogs, cats, and other pets to DNA banks and hoping to have an exact copy later on in life. But does that make it right to clone? The Humane Society of the U.S. does not approve this. There are many animals suffering and are becoming overpopulated. Cloning animals would possibly mean more animals on the streets and more animals being euthanized. The cost to clone an animal would possibly be around $20,000. It is a very expensive process that people are willing to do. Then there would be this mute sense of loss. After a pet dies, will people even mourn as much? They would be looking forward to seeing their pet in the future. They may not even be as sad. The pet would not have the same memories. They could act much different from how they were before. What if you brought back your childhood pet? What if this pet was happier with children and was more playful? Now that you have grown, it acts different and makes you disappointed that it isn't as playful anymore. Although there are people that hope for just the looks of their pet, or at least something close to their old pet. Once in your lifetime you have that special pet, the one you'd like to have forever. Although we know there will never be another one like him, it's nice to know there's hope for something as close as possible, said pet owners Kimberly and Daryl. Many people would love their new animals, but would it really be worth it?